All right. Warning. So, like I said, after being abused by her family, I ran away from the foster home, ran away from home. I didn't even go back home. Mother wasn't talking to me, not that I really cared. And I took off and I joined the state fair and I traveled with them for like 3 or 4 different states, I want to say. And I was 17, so I was close to being 18. And back then, where I was from, I could leave home at 16 and you couldn't do anything about it. Well, the guy that I'd been seeing before I ran away decided that he fell in love with my so called friend, and so he dumped me. And I lied and told him I was pregnant. I was a bad teenager. So I take off and I'm with there, and I meet up with this guy that was really sweet to me, really kind, and he talked me into calling my mother and trying to make amends. He says, "You really need to finish school." And he was so sweet. He wouldn't have sex with me. We were nice to, just kind, kind guy, just a very kind guy. So I ended up going back home. My mother and I made amends for that year. I ended up going back home, and to finish my senior year in high school, I got back like the day before school started. So finished off the senior year, and in that year, I was the guy that had talked me into reconciling with my mother. Actually lived a town away, so he came back after his traveling was done, and he called me up and says, "Hey, I'm back in town. I'd like to meet up with you." And I went, "Sure." My mother's like, "No," and I said, "Too bad." So by October, him and I were seeing each other, and he would open doors for me. He would order meals for me because he wanted to make sure that I was healthy. He would call me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon as he was headed into work, and I just got home from school. He would call me at 9 o'clock at night on his first break, which was my bedtime. And then he'd call me at 7 o'clock in the morning as I'm getting up to head to school. It was just so sweet, so romantic. Oh, the little butterflies in the pit of my stomach because someone finally loved me without having sex with me first. That was a first for me. And I thought, this is it. This is the one I'm supposed to be with, right? Let me tell you more about that.